You've heard about Mike by now. Severe gastroparesis, hospitalized, permanent memory damage, all from a prescription that was supposed to help him lose weight. And in part 2, we talked about the quieter problem, the one happening to people who didn't end up in the hospital, the muscle loss, the body composition trap, the weight that comes back softer and heavier than it left. So by this point, you might be thinking, okay, JD, I get it. GLP-1 medications carry real risk, but I still have a weight problem. I still have blood sugar issues. I still wake up every morning feeling like my metabolism quit on me sometime around my 45th birthday. What am I actually supposed to do? That is exactly the right question. And today I'm going to answer it because here's what most people don't realize. Your body already makes GLP-1 naturally, for free, no needle, no $1,200 monthly bill, no gastroparesis risk. And there are specific research-backed strategies that trigger your body to produce more of it at any age, whether you're 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, or beyond. Stay with me. This one is going to change how you think about your metabolism. I'm JD, pharmacist, 30 plus years in healthcare, and I want to be upfront about something before we dive in. This video is not about convincing you that lifestyle change is easy. It is not. If it were easy, nobody would be paying $1,200 a month for a weekly injection. And what I'm telling you is that the biology works. The mechanisms are real. And for the majority of people in their 40s, 50s, and 60s who are frustrated with their weight, their energy, and their metabolic health, these strategies can move the needle in meaningful ways without handing your health over to a pharmaceutical company indefinitely. Let's get into it. Here's the foundation you need to understand first. GLP-1, or glucagon-like peptide, is a hormone your gut produces naturally every single time you eat. It tells your pancreas to release insulin, slows how quickly food leaves your stomach, and signals your brain that you're full. And the medications mimic this signal artificially, powerfully, but artificially. Your goal is to work with your body's own system instead of replacing it. Because when you replace a natural process with a drug long enough, that natural process gets lazy. It atrophies, just like a muscle you stop using. The 5 strategies I'm about to walk you through have direct, peer-reviewed evidence behind them for naturally elevating GLP-1 secretion, improving insulin sensitivity, and restoring the metabolic function that most men over 40 feel slipping away. These are not bro science suggestions. These are mechanisms. And the single most powerful meal timing strategy for triggering your body's own GLP-1 is also the simplest. Eat protein and fiber before you touch anything else on your plate. And when protein and fiber hit your gut first, your intestinal cells release a surge of GLP-1 naturally. Research published in peer-reviewed nutrition journals confirms that high-protein meals significantly elevate endogenous GLP-1 secretion compared to high-carbohydrate meals. And your body literally does what Ozempic does, just in response to real food. Start every meal with your protein source and any vegetables before you touch rice, bread, pasta, or anything starchy. Eggs before toast, chicken before the rice, steak before the potato. This one change alone has been shown to reduce post-meal blood sugar spikes and increase satiety signals naturally. Aim for at least 30 grams of protein per meal. That is the threshold research identifies for maximizing muscle protein synthesis and GLP-1 response in men over 40. Women should aim for around 20 grams depending on their weight. Not a rough target, a specific number worth tracking. I talked about this in part 2 as something you must do alongside GLP-1 medications. But the truth is, resistance training is the strategy, medication or not. And here's the mechanism most people miss. A single session of resistance training, squats, deadlifts, rows, presses, improves insulin sensitivity for 24 to 72 hours afterward. That means your body gets dramatically better at managing blood sugar without pharmaceutical intervention for up to 3 days after one workout. And over time, as you build lean muscle, that improvement becomes your new baseline. Muscle tissue is metabolically active. It burns calories at rest, absorbs glucose like a sponge, and acts as a buffer against the blood sugar dysregulation that drives weight gain in the first place. And this is what GLP-1 medications are trying to accomplish pharmacologically. Resistance training delivers it through adaptation, and the adaptation stays with you permanently as long as you keep training. 3 days a week, compound movements, progressive overload. That is the prescription. Zone 2 cardio is steady state aerobic exercise at moderate intensity, brisk walking, cycling, swimming at a pace where you can hold a conversation, but you're genuinely working. And it is one of the most powerful metabolic tools available to people over 40. Here's why it matters for this conversation specifically. Zone 2 training improves mitochondrial density in your muscle cells. More mitochondria means your body gets better at burning fat as fuel rather than defaulting to sugar. Over time, you become more metabolically flexible, meaning your body can switch between fuel sources efficiently instead of getting stuck in a cycle of blood sugar spikes and crashes that drive hunger and fat storage. The target is 150 to 300 minutes per week. That is roughly 30 to 45 minutes 5 days a week. Walking counts, cycling counts, swimming counts. The barrier to entry is low. The metabolic payoff is significant and well documented. Combined with resistance training, Zone 2 cardio creates a metabolic environment in your body that makes weight management dramatically easier and without suppressing your appetite artificially or risking your muscle mass. And I think about Mike a lot when I talk about this stuff because Mike wasn't a lazy guy. He wasn't someone who refused to put in the work. He was just handed a shortcut before anyone showed him the road. And I've been on my own journey with this, and I'm in my mid-50s, and I carry a lot of muscle from decades of judo and BJJ and lifting, but I've had my own battles with visceral fat, with discipline around quantity of food, with the kind of metabolic drift that sneaks up on you when life gets busy and the gym takes a back seat. And what I keep coming back to is this: the lifestyle strategies work, not as fast as a weekly injection, not with the dramatic before and after photos that drive social media engagement, but they work in a way that compounds over time, preserves your muscle, protects your brain, and builds a body that functions well into your 70s and 80s. That is the trade I'll take every time. But this one gets almost no attention in the weight loss conversation, and it should be at the top of the list. Poor sleep. Less than 7 hours directly disrupts two hormones that regulate hunger and fullness, ghrelin and leptin. Ghrelin goes up when you're sleep deprived, which means hunger increases. Leptin goes down, which means your fullness signal weakens. Research published in the Annals of Internal Medicine found that sleep restriction increased hunger by 24%. And if you are fighting cravings every afternoon, if you cannot stop eating after 9 p.m., if your appetite feels completely out of control, before you consider any medication, ask yourself honestly, how is my sleep? 7 to 9 hours, consistent sleep and wake times, a cool, dark room, no screens in the hour before bed. These are not lifestyle luxuries. They are metabolic interventions with direct, measurable effects on your hunger hormones and your body's ability to regulate weight naturally. Beyond protein and fiber at meals, specific foods have been shown in research to directly stimulate GLP-1 secretion. Add these to your regular rotation. Fermented foods, yogurt, kefir, kimchi, sauerkraut support the gut microbiome, which plays a direct role in GLP-1 production. Healthy gut bacteria stimulate the intestinal cells that release GLP-1. This is an active area of research with compelling early data. Olive oil and avocado. Healthy fats slow gastric emptying naturally, extending the satiety window and giving your gut more time to release GLP-1 in response to a meal. Leafy greens, spinach, kale, arugula are high in the fiber and micronutrients that feed GLP-1 producing cells in your intestinal lining. None of these are miracle foods, but combined with protein-first approach, resistance training, Zone 2 cardio, and proper sleep, you are building a lifestyle that works with your biology instead of bypassing it. And one more piece of this puzzle worth mentioning. When you're doing the work, training consistently, managing your nutrition, rebuilding your metabolism, your body has elevated demands for recovery and muscle support. That is exactly what we built the muscle pack at NuLifeSpan to address. Pharmaceutical grade creatine and protein support specifically formulated for people over 40 who are serious about preserving lean mass and fueling adaptation. Not a shortcut, the foundation underneath the work. And check out NuLifeSpan.com for full details. And these statements haven't been evaluated by the FDA, but every ingredient has peer-reviewed research behind it. So let's bring this 3-part series home. Part 1, GLP-1 medications work. They also carry risk most people never hear about before they fill that prescription. Mike's story is proof of what can happen on the extreme end. Part 2, even without the extreme outcomes, muscle loss and body composition damage are happening quietly to people who use these medications without a plan. Part 3, your body already has the system, protein and fiber first, resistance training, zone 2 cardio, sleep, specific foods that work with your gut biology. These 5 strategies activate your natural GLP-1 response, restore insulin sensitivity, and build a metabolic foundation that compounds over time. And this approach is not as fast as a weekly injection, but it's yours permanently at any age. Now drop a comment. Which of these 5 strategies are you already doing? And which one are you starting this week? I read every one. Hit subscribe for evidence-based content every week built for people over 40 who are serious about the long game. And if someone in your life is considering a GLP-1 prescription, share this series with them. All 3 parts. Let them make an informed decision. This is JD from NuLifeSpan. The harder road is still the better road. And I'll see you in the next one.